You wouldn't give your children alcohol or drugs, right? But there's a piece of technology that may well be doing and having the exact same effect on that. We will go deep into that story because that's our question of the week. Then this is the comeback kid for LG, the LG W30, their online offering. This is the big one from Redmi, from Xiaomi, the 7A, 5,999, and a whole lot more happening on the show. Let's get started.
While the entire society is caught up in a bog of screens, raising children screen-free has become a challenge. But is getting a screen consultant to help you the solution? LG's under 10K phone, the W30, may well be the phone LG needed in its portfolio. What all does it have and how good is it? Find out on the show. Redmi 7A is here to take forward the legacy of the Redmi 6A. But is it the best budget phone you can buy? We tell you.
And of course, as always, a lot has been happening. In fact, I've been reading tweets from journalists, bloggers, and tech analysts that they are now tired, and that their mind will explode because of the number of announcements and news that is coming in from brands. And that actually is true. And our news depicts that this week.
The phone with 5-camera lens at the back is here. Nokia has launched its 9 PureView in India for 49,999 rupees, which boasts of its penta-camera setup with Zeiss optics. All 5 lenses are of 12 megapixel that shoot simultaneously to offer a single high-resolution image with 10x more light. Other specifications include a fast Snapdragon 845 chipset, 5.99-inch 2K POLED display with an 18:9 aspect ratio, HDR10 support, an in-display fingerprint sensor, 3320 mAh battery with support for 18-watt fast charging. We will review Nokia 9 PureView soon on Cell Guru. Techno plans to take on big guns with its Phantom 9, a phone that comes with triple rear camera set up for 14,999 rupees. The Phantom 9 features a 6.4-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display with teardrop notch, Helio P35 processor, 6GB RAM, 3500 mAh battery and triple camera with a 16-megapixel, 8-megapixel and a 2-megapixel lens. The camera comes with AI support. The device runs on Android Pie with a layer of the company's own High OS 5.
Let's start off with our question of the week. And this actually isn't the question that I'm going to ask you this. I asked you this right in the beginning also. You wouldn't give your children alcohol or drugs, would you? Then why give them phones and screens? You know, the concept is the same. In fact, the effect of phones and drugs to the brain is also the same. And not something you want your child to consume too much, as the consequences then are absolutely not positive. But in today's day and age, when children have access to all kinds of tech and screens with literally no limits, where does one draw the line? They have laptops, iPads, smartphones, TVs that are smart, and even gaming consoles which are loaded with millions of apps, making it a real challenge for them to become part of the real world, to have real conversations, real experience, real people, and more importantly, to discover who they really are. But the buck stops at parents for bringing up their children in the right way. But given that they are caught neck deep in a bog of screens themselves, how do they raise their kids screen-free? Well, reports are now saying that parents are hiring professional screen consultants. Yes, I'll say that again. They are hiring consultants for reminding parents how people parented before screens became the big thing, before technology took over our lives. Yes, that's the age we live in. Nobody knows if screens will make the society good or bad, but the fact that screen-free parenting coaches in the United States are now developing into big businesses, it implies how extreme the situation has become. So here's what you can do as a parent to bring up your children screen-free. First of all, get your children a pet, a dog or a cat or anything else. They make for a great distraction. They always have your children occupied, and it actually makes sure that they have a relationship with a real person. Screen time alternative activities are very important. Remember what you did when you were young. If you're a parent, how did you pass your time before phones and tablets took over your life? I remember I was into painting, playing with my neighborhood kids, or at times just gazing into the clouds. Do something real. Get them to have activities that are real games, a snake and ladder, a Ludo, any of the others. I mean, where did all that go? Encourage that. Create places where phones are absolutely banned, and I recommend the bed, the bedroom, the dining room, the car, and at any time when more than 2 people of a family sit together. That should be no screen time, totally and absolutely banned. Start with these and see where you go. Maybe you don't need to hire a consultant then. Let's move on now to our top story, and this is a story that actually does have a screen though, okay? So it's a phone. It's from LG, and I've always been very happy here to tell you that LG makes fantastic products, but they don't know how to market it, how to get people to even know, have the knowledge that they do make great phones. So this is the W30. Once again, for 9,999 rupees, you get a product that really is great. I mean, look at the kind of things they have. For under 10,000 rupees, they're giving you a triple camera, 4,000 mAh battery, great screen, great front camera, almost no notch. It's got a teardrop design, and it's got most of the aesthetics that you think are really important for a phone like that. So well done, LG. You're carrying on making great phones like you always did, but now with the fact that you've gone online, at least people know it exists. And the good news is that we've heard that this phone got sold out almost as soon as it came online. So congratulations, LG. You finally have a real winner.
LG is back in action in the mobile segment with the all-new W series, and perched right in the middle of the series at 9,999 rupees is the W30 that we have got for review. Is this the comeback phone from LG, and will this turn things around for the company? Let's find out.
This definitely is going to be the comeback series for LG into the smartphone business. And as I mentioned during the presentation, we actually asked our HQ to let us create a series specifically for India, keeping in mind the competition and the needs of the Indian consumer. And fortunately for us, they did give us a go-ahead, and which is where we could work and create the W series, and which is what we launched today, 3 devices, which is the W10, W30 and the W30 Pro. And given the fact that India is a fiercely competitive but one of the largest markets, we actually wanted to make a significant dent in the market, and which is why we have gone ahead and launched such an aggressive portfolio with a never-before pricing from LG.
When held, the large W30 fits well in the hand. It doesn't have a plasticky feel to it at all, and we love the solid build. We got the platinum grey color variant for review. The back has a ridged pattern which offers a good grip. The screen is a large 6.26 inches and it has a HD Plus display. The display does miss a certain degree of sharpness, but it does the job. The screen houses a water drop notch on the top. The shape of the notch can be changed in the setting and even done away with altogether. So watching videos on this phone is quite a breeze. Coming to the camera, the LG W30 boasts of a triple camera setup. There's a 12 megapixel low light camera, 13 megapixel wide angle lens and a 2 megapixel depth lens. The shots we took had quite some clarity and the colors are kept pretty muted. The wide angle captured a wide view and the low light images turned out adequately lit. The portrait mode really did well with the edges and depth well defined. The front camera and the little notch is 16 megapixels. The selfies were good in daylight, but the portrait mode came across slightly artificial. Under the hood, the LG W30 has the MediaTek Helio P22 processor powering it. The phone did only okay while multitasking and gaming. The resolution in games is set to the lowest setting by default. There was no visible lag, but not much to write home about when it comes to performance. But LG seems to be making up for this with the battery. The phone runs on and on with a 4000 mAh battery, and we only lost juice after 1.5 days of basic use. The LG W30 runs on its own UX on top of stock Android, and we love the smooth feel to it. The Selguru verdict. W might as well stand for win, as LG offers a strong proposition in the under 10K segment. With good optics and a battery that will really last, LG is back, and this phone will definitely make competition like Xiaomi's Redmi and Realme sit up and take notice.
And now let's move on to an Apple story, because this is what Apple is about to do, but we've got a really interesting exclusive. So what happened is, this time at WWDC, what Apple really did announce, if you look deeply into it, their Watch OS as well as a lot of things with their new iOS 13 are a lot to do with health and fitness and taking care of yourself. So we thought we'll go deeper into those features to see why is Apple going so deep into it, and then we got an exclusive. We actually spoke to the person who's actually spearheading this for Apple.
It's no secret that Apple is committed to make us healthy and fit. From the time iOS 8 got the Health app and the Apple Watch was conceptualized, which is almost 5 years back, Apple has been at the forefront of bringing us tech that can help us stay fit. The current Watch OS 6 and the iOS 13 have extensive fitness and health features, making the Apple Watch the most reliable and preferred choice. The Watch OS 6 comes with activity tracker with rings that track stand-up time, moving time, which counts your steps, and exercise time. There is Noise app to protect you from damaging your hearing, and for women, there is menstruation tracking. Then there is Workout app, which whether you run, walk, swim, row, hike or do yoga can track your exercise sessions and show stats in real time. The watch even monitors your heart rate, tracks your sleep and even asks you to breathe. Apple Watch gives long-term activity trends showing how your fitness is improving or changing. Needless to say that all your watch data is available on your app on your iPhone. With iOS 13, Apple has also improved its health insights and coaching for its users. Like in the Apple Health app on iPhone, a new highlights section will put a few personalized data points front and center for you to keep track of your fitness goals.
One of the surprising things at WWDC was, besides the fact that the Apple Watch now has its own app store, you have the next level of iOS.
Yeah.
Actually, most of the real concentration was on health, which surprised a lot of people, that Apple seems to be taking this very, very seriously, from the demonstrations that we saw from the noise part of the app to tracking, the cycle tracking and everything else that we had, and then how intense and how detailed the fitness app has become.
Yeah.
What is the new direction that Apple is taking? Can you just take us through what is the thought process? What's the objective now?
I think, the watch is an amazing device. If you think about what watch is, it is a device that is on you all the time, that allows you to connect with your loved ones via SMS, by talking into the watch. It allows you to measure your activity and really encourage you with the rings to be able to close your rings. And now with activity trends, actually measure your activity from a 90-day period, comparing it to a 365-day period. And now on top of that, we also have health features like high heart rate, low heart rate, cycle tracking, the Noise app. So the ability to pull all of those three things together, those three domains of your life, so that it can serve as an intelligent guardian, but also a partner to you in your everyday life, we think is a really powerful opportunity. And we love to do more across all of those domains. So I think, sometimes we might have more some fitness features, we might have some more health features, and we'll have some more connected features. We think the ability to pull those two together to make it a really powerful device that's with you all the time is what our goal is. And so we're excited to do that for customers.
We are a country that if you go onto an Indian road, you're going to be hearing, I would think, 85 to 90 dB just with the
Sure.
honking parts of it, right? We may not be too familiar with, and this is a great opportunity for you to tell us how important noise is in terms of health, right?
Yeah.
So can you take us through what the Noise app really does?
So first of all, from your health perspective, noise is so important. And the reason it's important is your hearing is your connection to the rest of the world.
Right.
And there's evidence around, as someone's hearing diminishes, you sometimes can see also it be associated with cognitive decline.
Correct.
You can see it be associated with social isolation, and all of these things can have negative impacts on your health. So we thought that, let's try to think about a thoughtful way to attack this. And with the watch always being on your wrist, it uses the microphone to detect decibel levels that surround you, and then will notify you if it's reached a level that will impact your hearing over time. And what we wanted to do is provide this alert, but then provide it in a way that's actionable for you. So while you may not be able to get out of that immediate situation, you're not going to necessarily walk out of the Sangeet, for example, but what you will be able to do is understand cumulatively what is this doing, and what are some adjustments that you may need to make with your headphones, with maybe making some choices around restaurants you go to. So we think there's ways to be able to make this information actionable in your everyday life.
I've seen it in apps before, but you've gone into extreme detail, and
Yeah.
that is actual, you're tracking mensuration for
Yeah.
women, which I think in India is both, extremely lacking and also a bit of a taboo.
Right.
People don't want to talk about it, people
Right.
don't want to go into detail, but here you could just do it on your own, and the information is very detailed, and also, as pointed out by you, it's kept extremely private. Can you tell me a little bit more about why this direction, why Keeping it very simple, yet there's a lot of education behind it. What's the thought process behind this?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So the cycle tracking app is something we're obviously very excited about. It is something that, when women think about one aspect of their health, their cycle is an important indicator of their health. Any irregularity, any changes in patterns can be an indication of something going on with your health. So this is another great example of where we can take some information about you and see if we can proactively surface up information that may be valuable. So with the cycle tracking app, you can actually log your symptoms as well as your period right from your watch. And it's a discrete, easy way to be able to log your period and your symptoms. And so we think that the ability to have such personal information for you to be able to manage it in such a personal way is really powerful, and we're excited to bring that to many women. The other thing I just want to add on cycle tracking is you don't need a watch. You can do everything that you can do on watch on the phone. And that, of course, obviously, with being able to bring that to hundreds of millions of people, especially women, I think is really powerful. And so we're excited to be able to provide it on the phone as well.
This brings me to, of course, a question which we in India have been, constantly asking and constantly waiting for the right answer to come back. And that is, of course, the same feature we are speaking about, the ECG feature.
Yeah.
Still not here in India, which is disappointing, but we do understand the fact that these things take time. But the rollout of this, specifically to do with the US, Hong Kong, and parts of Europe, or most of Europe now, the rollout, has it been according to what you expected?
It's actually been according to plan. It's the first time we have rolled out a regulated medical software.
Right.
And we think health is so sacred that we believe that you have to walk before you can run and make sure that you roll out features with the appropriate support, the appropriate permissions. And so we want to focus and make sure that we bring a delightful experience to every country we roll out to. So we really paced ourselves to do this correctly. So it's been going on plan. We are obviously really anxious to get it into customers' hands as soon as possible. I always want to make sure that we get it to customers as soon as we can. But it's been according to plan, and we're excited to hear what all the rest of the world will think when we roll out to other countries, including India.
Let's take a quick break right now. On the show, when we come back, a whole lot more. And now let's move on to a 5999 phone. Yes, the Redmi 7A. Now, this series for Redmi, 6A and everything else, has been very successful. But now the competition has truly caught up. So now the big question when I show you the phone and the review, and we will do that analysis, is that if you're buying this, the Redmi 7A for 5,999, for just a little bit more, maybe the same or a little bit more, could you do way better? Let's take a look.
Looking to upgrade from a feature phone? This Xiaomi phone that you see on the screen is an excellent option, and here's why. The Xiaomi Redmi 7A is a value for money phone that packs in almost all features we get in a smartphone today at 5,999 rupees. An upgrade to Redmi 6A, the 7A has better looks, better chipset, and some other updates that makes it the fresh face of the budget phone market. Design-wise, even though the phone comes with a plastic back, it looks good. The blue matte finish on the back panel gives it a fresh look. The 7A, even though not particularly thin, doesn't feel too heavy in the hand and is comfortable to hold. There is P2i nano coating, which makes this phone splash resistant, a welcome addition for sure. On the front, there is a 5.45-inch HD Plus IPS display that is decent for a phone priced 6,000 rupees. Sure, the screen isn't super bright, but colors and viewing angles are something we wouldn't complain about. Unlike on phones today, there are thick bezels on top and bottom of the screen which compromise on the real estate, but don't worry, reading articles and watching videos is a pleasant experience. There is a 12-megapixel camera on the rear placed vertically along with the flash. The rear camera includes features like AI Beautify face recognition, Auto HDR, burst mode. The front camera is a 5-megapixel which comes with features like AI background blurring, AI Beautify face recognition, selfie timer, and HDR. The Redmi 7A clicked good shots. The daylight has details
and good color reproduction in the photos, whereas the low light had a lot of noise. The Redmi 7A is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 439 processor and comes with Adreno 505 GPU. There is 2 GB RAM on board. Now, the Redmi 7A is no beast when it comes to performance, but it gets the job done. Don't think about playing heavy games like PUBG and you will be just fine. Even though this phone comes in 2 variants, both have 2 GB RAM, which is, to be honest, a little disappointing. The 7A runs on Android 9 Pie with MIUI 10. There's no app drawer and it comes with some preloaded apps. There is AI Face Unlock in this phone, which is surprising as there is no fingerprint scanner here. Xiaomi Redmi 7A is loaded with 4000 mAh of battery, which lasted an entire day after a complete charge. The 7A is priced at 5,999 for the 2 GB RAM plus 16 GB storage variant. There is also a 2 GB RAM plus 32 GB storage configuration, which is priced at 6,199. It is a dual SIM phone with 256 GB expandable memory with micro SD card. The Selguru verdict: priced at 5,999 rupees, Xiaomi Redmi 7A is a strong and a reliable phone, but do consider that Realme with C2 offers dual camera and a better design at the same price. So while Xiaomi Redmi 7A comes with better processor and UI, there are other options in the market now to choose from.
That then is the Sell Guru show for this week. But like I said right in the beginning, lots happening in the market in this category. We're getting you the Xiaomi K20, we're getting you the Realme X. And who knows, by next week there may be a whole lot more. So whatever else you do not miss this show.